It's almost 24 minutes past the hour here on Morning Live. Now, yesterday the Competition Commission announced that it is opening an investigation on pharmaceutical companies, Roche Holdings, pharmaceutical giant Pfizer and Aspen Pharmacare for alleged excessive cancer drug pricing. Last month, the European Union also opened a formal investigation into concerns that Aspen Pharma has engaged in excessive pricing concerning 5 life-saving cancer medicines. To talk more on the issue, we are joined in studio by Harden Rachisusu, who is the Deputy Commissioner of the Competition Commission. It's good to have you, Harden. Thank you very much for coming into the program.
No, thank you, and good morning to you, Leanne. Yeah.
So let's understand it before we sort of delve into this particular case. What are the rules on excessive pricing, and what is defined as excessive pricing?
It's very important because there are various contraventions stipulated in the Act. This specific one is covered under abuse of dominance. So this is where we are looking at the conduct of one firm. Where a firm is dominant, it's prohibited from charging excessive pricing. And what do we mean by excessive pricing? The Act says these are prices that bear no relation to economic value. We could extend that to say, well, to establish economic value, we'll have to look at the cost of producing that product, the prices that they are charging, in other markets. We can do a lot of comparisons to try establish whether the pricing is indeed excessive or not.
Yeah. So perhaps you can give us a better understanding, because this is not necessarily this is not one case. There's actually a few entwined in this one. So can you break it down for us to give us an understanding of exactly what you're looking into?
What we have done, what we did yesterday, was to initiate 3 separate investigations.
Okay.
So one is against Aspen. We are looking at various cancer drugs that Aspen sells in South Africa. This is where they faced similar cases in Europe, where for the same drugs in Europe they increased the prices in the order of 1,000%. In South Africa, the information that we have is that for the past 4 years they have consistently increased prices by just around 50%.
Right.
Again, our view is that that is potentially exploitative to the consumer. The second case is against Pfizer. We have found information that for a specific drug for lung cancer, Pfizer has been charging a price that was way too high in our view. We made some inquiries. The price dramatically dropped. We think, again, to us that points to some possible abuse of dominance. And the third case is against Roche. Here again, I'm sure viewers will be familiar with the drug that we are looking at here. This is a very critical breast cancer drug.
Yeah.
Roche prices it at just over R500,000. They also price the same drug in public hospital at half the price.
So it is the same drug. It's not a generic drug. In fact, they still have a patent on this, haven't they? They've still got a license on the drug until 2020. They're wanting to extend it. So at this point, this drug is the real, genuine one that we're finding in both private and public hospitals.
That's our information right now, that this is the same drug. And to add to that, they, through their agent Genetech that supplies here the product here, they are trying to come up with some schemes. In IP, they are well known, where you evergreen, you try extend the patent. The patent is coming to an end in 2020. Absolutely. They're trying some schemes
to get it up to 2033, I believe.
Yes, and that to us is a clear signs of abuse. In fact, in the US, they've tackled similar cases, and we are quite confident that these are cases we should be pursuing as the authority.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that there's more to it as well. I mean, we see that Pfizer is denying that it supplies the lung cancer product at 152,000 Rand a dose. I mean, it's just insane. That's one of their drugs. There's another case that you're investigating, and this one is against Aspen, which is charging excessive prices, or allegedly charging excessive prices for leukemia drugs. drugs. These are life-saving products. I mean, these are things that I know we've got to keep emotion out of it, as you told me a bit earlier. It's something that needs to be investigated. But, you know, people could be dying while the companies are just abusing the fact that people may not be able to afford it, and those that can spend their entire savings on something like this.
Of course, I think we as the authority, we are empowered to look into economic activity in South Africa. And we do prioritize. Healthcare is one of the areas of priority for reasons that it's very important for the health of our economy, if I can say it that way. Cancer drugs in this particular case, in our view, are quite critical, and we've established that there's exploitation. We need to investigate this and come to the bottom of this.
So just to wrap this up, and for news for people that perhaps, you know, are on cancer treatment as we speak right now, and they're finding it absolutely astronomical. They cannot afford this, particularly when it comes to the breast cancer medication, because that's at the center of all of this. How long will the investigation take, and can we find that it may suddenly become a lot more affordable?
We obviously have prioritized this investigation. We officially launched it yesterday. We are looking at a period of a year to wrap this up. If it goes beyond that, not more than 2 years. But this depends again on the cooperation of the parties under investigation. These are deep-pocketed companies. They could respond in many different ways. So we tend to deal with these issues as the authority. But of course, we hope that in the end, if there is a finding, there could be remedies to open up the market. Of course, where we establish excessive pricing, we'll have to intervene to ensure that prices are affordable to the consumers, to the patients. As
government medical aids helping in this investigation? Are they participating in the investigation as well? Helping give evidence, I should say.
Yeah, we just started yesterday, so we will be engaging with all stakeholders affected, you know, civil society groups, medical aid schemes, and the affected companies.
Well, it's certainly a story that I think appeals to everybody and everyone watching very closely on how this will go. Thanks for explaining to us exactly what's going on right now. Harden Rachisusu is the Deputy Commissioner of the Competition Commission, looking into these investigation of pharmaceutical companies that are allegedly overpricing medicines that fight, I suppose, the most severe diseases, those particularly with regard to cancer drug pricing. So we'll update on that story. Thank you very much.